Hi everyone. Hi Mom. I'm just doing a real short tutorial here for you guys. Well, not even a tutorial. It's more of a tips, tricks, and tools deal. But before I get into that, I wanted to mention, who do I watch? I watch a lot of different people. However, these three I wanted to mention because their subscribers are really low and I honestly don't know why. They are fantastic. They are great artists. And, maybe we just need to be a little bit more aware of the newbies. Just because they don't have a lot of subscribers doesn't mean they don't have, something to bring to the table. So I wanted to mention Create Every Day. She's lovely. Her journals are beautiful. She has a beautiful speaking voice as well. Very nice I love the English, the British accent. So I love listening to her. Go check her out. Create Every Day. I'm gonna telephoto in a little bit more for you. Then Rebekah Legion Journals. Now she's been a subscriber of mine for quite some time, and she makes gorgeous journals. I love what she does, and she has a lot, Create Every Day. I forget what her name is. She doesn't have that many because she's, just starting out. Very talented woman. And Rebekah, just awesome. You got to go check her out. And then, of course, I've mentioned Vintage Moss before, but worth mentioning again, she's definitely an artist, skilled artist. She has a brand new store as well. So she's just starting to put on some more journals, and you won't believe the stuff that both her and her mom Joy both create journals, and they're so inspiring. So please go check these people out. Someone did this for me when I was starting out, and I want to pay it forward. So please go check these guys out, women, and subscribe. Okay, so now, those times when you have a die and you run it through and you run it through and you run it through and it won't cut. Drives me insane. And I know there's all kinds of other ways of doing it, but now had I had my paper cut to size, which I didn't want to do because I didn't want to waste any of this. So had I had it cut to size, I could keep turning it. So you turn it about a quarter of the way if you can. If your bed for your die cutting machine is wide enough, then you can keep turning it, okay? And then you're going to hit all the spots and it'll work. But I couldn't do that because this is too wide to go the other way. So this is what I do. I know it's kind of goofy, but I have an old tweezers, and they're grungy, but they're metal. So all I do is kind of just rub over the spots that didn't cut. And then they cut. I mean, you don't want to rub too hard because you don't want to tear your paper. And I think, let's see if that worked. There you go. So that worked. Now when you're taking it out, you want to be super careful because this is pretty intricate. So I try and get like a flat edge under here, run it along to get it to pop a little bit. I have ruined so many things that I've cut out. And this is just a lightweight tea-stained paper that I'm going to get out of my way because it's annoying me. So you really have to be careful taking these apart. And that's why I like to try and get all that edge done. And then I'll go back and start at the corners. Let's get my pokey tool. My junky one. So bent. Yeah, I'm pretty hard on my tools, apparently. Okay, then I'm going to just pop. Now, instead of going this way with your pokey tool, make sure that when you're poking things through, that it's actually not part of the thing that's supposed to attach, because then you're going to end up with a hole through it. So if that's the case, it isn't in this case, but if that's the case with the die you're using, go with the flat edge of it, like that. And then you're less likely to poke a hole. okay? Now, what I'll do is on this side, because this corner is now lifted, I will try and run my pokey tool along the edge underneath it and go slow. Take your time. It's not a rush. Just think, if you rush and you ruin it, you got to do it all over again. So take your time the first time, and then you don't have to. Now, the other thing I often do is if I remember that a certain dye I'm using has a hard time releasing the paper, I will use wax paper. I know people use dryer sheets. I've tried them, and quite honestly, they did not work for me. I tried over and over again, watched the video again and again, and it just did not work for me. And I also have an issue with now I've got to throw them out, and they're not biodegradable, so I don't use those. I use wax paper. But this works too. Now, of course, I did not remember that this was one that didn't release easily, so of course I didn't use the wax paper. And if that's the case, that's how I do it, very gently. Now, if you get one that really did not cut through, you can lay it back into your dye and then run the metal piece over it again, and it'll pop out. Instead of trying to get your scissors and, you know, that's kind of, I've tried that too, and it's kind of ugly. So I'm going to have to pop this one back in, but that's okay. I'll rub that part. I just wanted to show you that, and I've shown this many times before. I just take my toothbrush and, you know, do this. If you hold it down close to your work surface, you're not going to get them flying all over the place as well. So the cleanup's a little easier. Make sure your toothbrush is hard bristle. The soft ones don't work very well, I should say. Okay, there you go. It's all clean. And then, you know, bend it back so it's flat again. Okay, so now that I've done that, which I'll have to go back and fix that little spot, but that's okay. I wanted to show you what I've been doing for tucks, little cards and stuff. I don't know if I've got any, but when I do a card and I forget that I didn't print and I've already cut them out, I don't like white. You guys know this. Now, I know this isn't white, but it's a scrap. I love this oxide dye by Tim Holtz, the vintage photo. I want to show you how I've been working it. I know there's all kinds of tutorials out there that are better than mine, but this is what I've been doing. You know, the same kind of motion that you would get if you're using the other, but it does spread easier, I find. But what I love about this is now I'm going to start creating more of a leather look to it, because now I'm going to go harder in spots and softer in others, and it does spread easier than the vintage photo distress ink. Oh man, every time I tape something, somebody texts me. Just ignore it. Okay, so now you can leave that, but I really love using the water. So there are a couple different ways that I've been doing this. Now, if you hold it like away from you and you, like this, and you spritz it from that, I'm not going to because all my work is over there. Spritz it from that far, you're going to get like a fine mist. Okay, I'm going to do it off camera. Okay, then when you take your heat tool, you get this really pretty little splotty look. I'm hoping that's showing for you. But what I really liked was I did it like this the other day. I just squirted some water on my craft mat. Just took my fingers and I just kind of went like that. And then I dried it. You get this really cool sort of rusty effect. Not pretty. I really like that. You've got a little bit more control, I think, with the big splots. Working the ink around. You can always go back over it again with more ink and do the same thing, and you layer it up and up and up and up, and you get, you can get different colors and they'll pop through. That's the cool thing. So just, start playing around with stuff you've got sitting on your desk, like me, and then figure out a way to incorporate it into your journals or whatever it is that you create. Give you a sneak peek of a couple of pages if you care to see them. Now let's see, what can I show you? Oh, I think I showed you that one already. Okay, so for instance, here's something that I do. If there's a little tiny piece left, I'll just use it as a little tuck spot. I like it color on color. Obviously it's there. You can see it because that's sticking inside of it. But I kind of like that. And let's see, what else have I done? I don't want to show you everything. How to use up little scraps of lace or ribbon or whatever. Just, use it as a topper for a tag. I love this page. So you've got journaling here, and then that flips out. I just really like that. Anyway, that's all I'm going to show you guys, because I'm almost finished. I'm working on the last signature, and I'm almost finished the signatures, and then I will start on the journal cover. So thanks for watching, and I'm hoping to bring more of these short little videos to you, give you some inspiration, some ideas, some little tricks. If I'm working on something, it's a aha moment, then I will bring it to you. So thanks for watching, you guys. Bye.